Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting video. Today we are going to unreveal the magic of variables in Java. So whether you are a coding expert or just starting your coding journey, variables are like the spices in your code curry. They add flavor, depth and uniqueness. So guys, stick around because by the end of this video, you are going to speak this language of variables like a pro. Let's explore the interesting world of variables in Java. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's embark this coding journey together. Let's start, guys. Now we know the word variables. Might sound fancy, right? But trust me, they are like the sticky notes of your code, small, handy, and super useful. Okay, let me give a quick example to understand it in a better way. Imagine you have a bunch of jars in your kitchen. Each jar has a label, that's your variable name, and inside you can put different things, maybe candies, rice, or even your favorite things. In Java, variables are like those jars, they help us to store and organize information. Now let's say you have a cashew nut jar, you can put cashew nuts inside it, take them out and even replace them with dates if you feel like it. In Java, that's what we do with variables. We put stuff in them, change the stuff and use them to make our programs do cool things. Let's jump into an example. Here in the screen you can see int age equal to 35. What do I mean by that? 35 is the data, age is the variable. In this age variable, we are storing a data called 35. And the int is the type of the data. That means we are declaring the age variable with integer type. We will discuss about this data types in detail in the next video. Don't worry about it. Let's start by declaring the variable. What do I mean by declaring a variable? So by declaring the variable, we are saying, hey, I'm declaring you with a particular data type. So you are only allowed to store that particular data type values inside you. As you can able to see in my screen, here we have an int age first statement. This is what declaring a variable. I mean, here age is the variable name and we have declared it with integer data type. And post that we have assigned a 35 value inside the age variable and post that we have printed it. So we are getting the output 35. So and again, what do we mean by initializing a variable during declaration? That means we are initializing a variable. Let's take string this time, string. So now we declared a variable, post that we are initializing a value inside it. Let's say Virat Kohli and terminate this. Let's print this one. Now we got the output as Virat Kohli, right? See, here in the first two things, this is what declaring a variable. Here we are declaring a variable. And in the next step, we are assigning value inside the variable. In this third step, we are directly initializing variables during the declaration. And we can also change these values. Let's say we gave a name as Virat Kohli, right? We have also print that statement, print that output as Virat Kohli. Now let's try to change it. I want to change this one as Sachin. Now let's print. Oh, I forgot to terminate the statement. Now let's run it again. Now you can see the Sachin as output. So what we did here, we have changed the variable value. Let's see what are the types in variables. On a very high level, we have two types of variables. One is global variables and one is local variables. What do I mean by global variables and local variables? Okay, local variables are the variables which are inside a main method. So in this main method we have in age variable, name variable. We have two variables, which is age and name. To make it simple, I will remove all these things and we'll have only one variable. So now we have one variable called name, which is Virat Kohli. This is a local variable. Why I'm saying this is a local variable? Local variables are the variables which are staying inside the main method. So whatever the variables inside a particular main method, they are called as local variables. So whenever we have a local variable, we can use the local variables only inside the main method. So now we have a name variable inside this main method, right? We can able to use this particular main name variable only inside this particular method. We can't use it in other methods inside this class. What are the global variables? Let's say we have this variable here. Now we have a variable inside the class and outside the main method, which is called a global variable. The difference between the local variable and global variable is this. The global variables are used across the methods inside the class. Let's say we have multiple methods inside this class. We can able to use in all the methods this variable. But when we have a variable inside the main method, we can able to use them only inside this particular main method. They don't have access to work in other methods, but this global variable have that access. Understanding the global variables and local variables is like knowing when to share information with everyone in the library and when to keep it on your own disk. It's like a key skill for writing clean, readable and efficient Java programs. So we must know what is a global variable and local variable. In fact, in my first interview when I'm attending a company called Sterlite, they asked me this question: what is the difference between global variables and local variables, when we will use this global variable and when we use this local variable. This kind of questions they asked me. Don't worry about it, we will discuss about this in detail in future videos, and we will also make some placement related questions. I mean, what kind of a questions they might ask in placements, that also we can cover in separate video. Now what are the exact types of variables? In global variables we have again two types, one is static and one is instance, and local variables we have only one type, that is local variables. We already discussed about the local variables, right? Whatever they inside the main method, they are called the local variables, and global variables is what outside the main method and inside the class. And now there are two types we just have discussed. There are again two types in the global variables, which is instance variables and static variables. What do I mean by static variables? First we will look into the static variables. Let's say variable, so we have a string variable, right, which is Virat Kohli. Now let's try to run it. I have seen an error. What is that error? Cannot make a static reference to the non-static fields. What do that mean? So here this is an instance global variable. That means whenever we want to use an instance global variable inside a method, then we must create an object inside the main method. But instead of that, I can simply give a keyword called static. That means I'm giving access for this particular variable to this class. What do I mean by that? I mean, by using the static keyword, I can able to use this particular global variable inside any method inside this class. So now let's run this. See, we are getting the output as Virat Kohli. This is what static variables are. The static is a keyword in Java. You can also use in the public static void main, right? Static is nothing but the value. We are allowing our methods to access this particular variable. This is what about static. And what is this instance variable? Before we got an error, right? So without error, how can I use this instance variable? Now I have to create an object inside the class. How to create an object? Don't worry about it. We will discuss in detail about this object and class in the future videos when we are discussing about the OOPS concepts. Now I will just tell you in a very high level that how to create an object. So how do I create an object? First I will use this class name, and then I will create a new variable, new local variable, which is new name equal to what I'm saying here, new is a keyword again. Whenever we are creating an object inside the main method, we have to call this new keyword. And again, we will discuss about this also in a separate video. Now just understand how we are able to create an object to call that particular instance global variable inside the main method. New, and again the class name, and terminating the statement. Now what I did here, I just gave this local variable access to get all the global variables. That means, let's say we have multiple variables here. Int age equal to 35. Here we have two variables, one is name and age, both are the instance global variables, and we have created an object. And this variable, right, whenever we are calling this variable, this have an access to access both of these variables. That means I can do this here. Name, if I want to print Virat Kohli, what I will do, I will give name. Now let's run it. See, I'm getting Virat Kohli, the output. If I give age, I can able to print 35. This is how we will create an object. With that object, we can able to access the global instance variables in our main method. And there you have it, folks. Understanding the concepts of global and local variables is like having a superpower in the world of Java programming. Global variables are your big open books accessible from anywhere, while local variables are your trusty post-it notes keeping things organized within specific tasks. Knowing when to use each is crucial for writing code that's not only functional but also clean and efficient. So whether you are crafting a grand novel with global variables or managing short-term tasks with local variables, keep these concepts in your mind to become a coding superhero. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coding insights, and ring that notification bell to stay updated. Happy coding, guys, and I will catch you in the next video.